You mean to tell me there was only one witness to this whole thing?
Only one we could find who had a clear view of what happened. Detective, this is a residential street.
Yeah, well, what about other traffic?
There wasn't any. The lady's car was the only one in the street.
Yeah, well, how about a pedestrian? I mean, somebody could have been crossing against the light. She might have swerved to avoid hitting them.
That's not what the witness said. There was nobody else around. She just hit the bridge stanchion.
You mean she just lost control and cracked it up?
That's how it looks to me. Maybe there's something wrong with the car.
Or maybe there's something wrong with the driver.
We'll see my daddy.
We'll see him later. Come here.
We'll see my daddy.
I'll let you know if there are any further complications.
Thank you. We'll see my daddy.
Derek, are they going to take much more time? Can't they tell us what's happening?
It's more important for them to be in there doing everything they can.
Yeah, I guess so.
Raven, please don't get any false hopes up. I tried to be straight with you before.
Oh, God.
She ran her car straight into the bridge abutment.
I just don't know how it could have happened. She always said she was such a good driver.
These things just happen.
Is Mrs. Scott's daughter here?
Yes, this is... Is she okay?
You were told that she sustained numerous and severe injuries during the car crash.
Yeah, but she's going to be all right, isn't she?
We did everything we could to save her. But it was a really rough battle. She died only moments ago.
She's dead.
I'm very sorry. Are you going to stay with her?
Yes, I'll stay with her.
I can't believe this. I'm going to go find
No,
her.
Raven. You want to set it? Do you want me to get the doctor?
No, I don't want to set a tip. I want my mother. Derek, I'm not ready for this.
I know.
I just left her a few hours ago. She was in my apartment. And I never should have let her go. She shouldn't have been driving.
Raven, come on, now. You can't change the past. Sit down.
I just didn't think when I said goodbye to her it would be for the last time.
Look, did she take any drugs before she left?
I don't think so.
Something that she might have gotten from the hospital. You know, there are some kinds of drugs you shouldn't take when you're driving.
I don't know.
You two were pretty worked up emotionally. Must have been some fight.
No, it wasn't. We didn't fight. I mean, we had arguments like mothers and daughters, but I loved my mother and she loved me.
Okay, forget I said it. I'm sorry.
She was a very sick woman. And they forgot something. She should never have left the hospital. The doctors must have missed something.
She was probably weakened by several days in bed and her senses were dull. I know.
That must have been it. She must have just lost control of the car. But it really doesn't matter. She's gone. And now I don't have any family. I'm all by myself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll bring your salads in a moment.
Splendid.
Well, I just cannot wait to hear the whole story about what happened to Draper in the last 6 months.
Well, we may never know the whole story. There's still a lot of gaps in Draper's memory.
Well, you told me yourself that he told you quite a bit.
He told me a few things. We learned a few other things from other people who were involved. Molly Sherwood, for one, who happened to be in the Galt house the night that he stumbled into the backyard, only hours after the train wreck.
And Emily really believed that he was her husband.
Oh, yeah. Well, she was ready to believe it. She'd been waiting for that man to return for 10 years.
Love certainly makes people do strange things, doesn't it?
Makes the world go round.
Makes the world go crazy.
That, too. That, too. Certainly in the case of Emily Michaels, she's cracked up pretty badly.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she's not very happy about the reunion between April and Draper.
No, she wasn't. I was, though. It was something to see. Fine man, good man, friend. Back with a woman he loves him. It's the way it ought to be.
No mixed feelings? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Skip it.
Oh, it's all right. You're a friend, right? Aren't you?
I hope so.
I never made a secret of the fact that I was seeing April, did I?
Well, no, why should you make it a secret?
Exactly. There was no reason. Then. But that was then. And now I think that anyone who might have impressions about what happened or didn't happen between April and me should try and put those impressions out of their mind.
Can you?
Whatever happened between April and me is best forgotten by all concerned.
How do you forget your feelings, Logan?
You do what you have to do.
Oh, there you are. Boy, am I glad your service knew where to find you. Look, I'm sorry about interrupting your dinner.
What are you doing here, Calvin?
Red, you and I have to go on duty. Logan, I'm really sorry about this.
Oh, it's no problem. Duty calls, I understand.
As a matter of fact, this may interest you. It might affect you, sort of.
Well, you have my undivided attention.
Well, there's been an accident over on Jefferson Avenue. A car driven by Nadine Scott was completely totaled.
Raven's mother? How is she?
Well, I called Monticello General a little while ago. I'm afraid she passed away just moments ago.
Poor Raven. Ooh.
Has Raven been told?
No, well, I suppose so. She's at the hospital with the chief now. Red, you and I have got to go do the preliminary investigation.
We haven't even... Logan, I'm really sorry about this dinner.
No, it's all right. I'd better leave it with you. Somebody will have to be with Raven. Check.
Took you a long time to memorize a routine like that.
Oh,
Good.
it does.
Your teacher was fascinating. And me too. I really enjoyed being your audience of one, Jody.
Yeah, well, it wasn't much of a performance.
Don't you believe that? Listen, what do you say? One night when the club closes, we step out and then you can watch me dance.
Oh, to tell you the truth, after the club closes, I'm so tired, all I'm ready to do is flop into bed.
Really?
I think I better go set the tables now.
Run along, Jody. Good evening, Charlie.
And a top of the evening to you, too, Mr. Thorne.
Give me the usual. I think I need a drink.
Sure. You're here later than usual.
I stopped by at the dance studio where Jody works out. I wanted to see if the lessons she spends her salary on are justified.
Well, if you're going to start checking up on the help, you can find me most afternoons at the racetrack, ripping up tickets I thought were sure things. Hey, how was the kid? Can she really dance?
Charlie, the kid has quite some ability.
I like her legs, too, Mr. Thorne.
She's a very nice addition to the club.
Good, because our friend over there could be a bit of a problem.
Why?
Well, our resident puppeteer caused quite a scene a little while ago.
What happened?
Well, there was this dude at the bar who was pretty well oiled. But I served him because he was nice and quiet. Well, that lasted until Kelly came over with one of his puppets.
So?
Well, the guy gave him a hard time. Then he picks up a drink and pours it over the puppet's head.
That must have been a pleasant sight.
Well, he didn't think it was funny at all. He jumped all over the guy.
Our mild-mannered Kelly?
I thought he was going to strangle him. It took all I could to pull him off the drunk.
I knew performers are supposed to be temperamental, but this is going a bit too far.
Yeah, well, that kid's got a temper you won't believe. It was really scary, Mr. Thorne.
Well, I think he owes us an explanation. Kelly?
Yeah?
Could you step over here for a while, please?
What can I do for you, Mr. Dorn?
Kelly, I understand you had a bit of a scuffle in my absence.
Yeah, I suppose I did.
Now, Kelly, I pay you to entertain the clientele, not to beat up on them.
Yeah, well, the guy was drunk. Well, I tried to be polite to him, but he took a half a bottle of booze and started to pour it over the puppet's head. Well, those puppets are a lot of time and investment to me, you know? Well, let's just look at it another way. I did you a favor.
How's that?
Well, it's against the law to serve alcohol to a puppet that's a minor.
We are not amused.
Okay. I lost my head, and I'm sorry, and it won't happen again.
Make sure it doesn't, Kelly. Because people are going to think twice about coming to a club that has a reputation for fights.
I promise to count to 10 next time.
Well, count to 200 if it's necessary. Kelly, the next time a fight happens because of you, your next audience will be the unemployment line.
I think I understand what you're trying to say, Mr. Bond.
Thank you.
You did get out of line. Now, that rough stuff is bad for business. You understand me?
Okay, Charlie, okay. I'm really sorry about what happened, and I promise to be on my good behavior from now on, okay?
Well, don't you forget it.
Okay.
Hey, what happened? I couldn't help but overhear Mr. Dorn.
He's got in a little trouble, that's all. He got into a fight with a drunk.
Thought you weren't violent.
Oh, I'm not. He just started to make fun of one of my puppets, and I overreacted, that's all. Hey, Jody, I wasn't looking to get in a fight. I just overreacted and decided to call him on it. In fact, I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing.
You're as bad as Gavin.
How does he get into this?
Before tonight, I thought Gavin Wiley was the only man who lost his temper at the drop of a hat.
He does, huh?
Yeah. It's a good thing he just yells a lot.
Well, if he yells at you so much, why do you hang around him?
Because when Gavin yells at me, there's a reason. He wants me to be a better dancer. Because he cares.
Well, if he cares about you, I'd think that he'd try and be nicer to you.
Yeah, well, that's just his way. He really is a wonderful teacher.
Is he?
Yeah. Gavin forces you to think about what you're doing and why. I just wish he wouldn't. I'll forget it.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't what?
Gavin expects his devotion to rub off on me. And sometimes I don't think that's fair.
Well, Jody, you're the one that thinks that dancing is the only thing left in the world.
Yeah, but Gavin expects me to eat, sleep, and live dancing 7 days a week.
Well, I've tried to tell you that there's more to life than just dancing. In fact, I'd really like to show you if you give me a chance.
Jody, you decided on an evening yet we could go out and paint the town red?
Actually, I haven't given it much thought, Mr. Dorn.
Yeah, Jody really doesn't have much of a chance to go out because she's dancing all the time.
Who put you in charge of Jody's social calendar?
Well, nobody. She just always tells me that she has to go to the studio and practice, that's all.
Maybe that ought to tell you something. Kelly, don't you have something to do? Something that I'd pay you for?
Oh, you mean like reprogram the light board?
For example?
Yeah. See you later.
Want some coffee or something?
No, I don't want anything, thank you.
I came as soon as I heard. I just can't tell you how sorry I am.
I appreciate your concern.
Is there anything I can do?
Can you stay with Raven?
Well, of course.
I think I ought to get back to the scene of the accident. I want to find out just what happened and why.
Well, go on ahead. I'll look after her.
Stay calm. You'll be all right. If I hear anything important, I'll let you know.
I can't believe this is happening to me.
It's going to be a rough time for you.
I'm surprised you came.
Well, I thought you should have somebody.
Yeah, I feel pretty alone right now. I don't have anybody anymore.
Well, you have friends, you have other family.
I have my little boy, and you keep trying to take him away from me.
Raymond, I don't think this is the time or the place to discuss Jamie.
I'm sorry. But the world seems like a very hostile place to me now, and I really don't have anyone to turn to.
You're a very strong, very self-sufficient woman. If you put your mind to it, you will come through this just fine.
I'm not as strong as you think. And I really did rely on my mother.
Did you? Really?
Yes, I did. Maybe not in the literal sense, but she was always there. Even though there was thousands of miles away in London. Oh, God.
What's the matter?
Ansel. He doesn't know. I wonder if it's too late to call him. Although I don't know what I'd say.
If you like, I'll telephone him.
Would you? That's very nice. It's not just Ansel, though. I have to tell other people. I have to make funeral arrangements.
If you want, I will take care of everything.
And why would you want to do that?
Somehow at a time like this, our differences just don't seem all that important, and there's no reason for you to have to deal with these unpleasant details.
I should have known you would help me. We really did have some good times, didn't we?
If there's anything that I can do, just say the word.
I really would like to get out of here. I'd like to go home.
I've got my car downstairs. Come on, I'll take you.
Looking out the window, waiting for my husband to come home. He's an hour late from work and he never calls. I saw the whole thing.
Exactly what did you see?
The car turned onto Jefferson Avenue from Spring Street. It was going right down like it was minding its own business. And all of a sudden, it veers off right into that pole. Kaboom! You know what I mean? That's when I called the emergency number for you guys.
Exactly how fast would you say the car was going?
Well, not fast at all. It certainly wasn't speeding.
Before the car hit the pole, was it swerving or did the driver appear to be in control?
Well, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary happening until it went smack into that pole.
Was there anybody else in the front seat with the driver, or was there anybody else on the street?
I didn't notice anybody getting out of the car, and there wasn't a soul on the street. I tell you, it was as if that woman drove straight for the pole, as if she wanted to hit it.
Why would somebody do that?
Oh, well, you're asking the wrong person. I'm a housewife, not a psychiatrist.
You know what, Calvin? I think that we ought to talk to Raven about this, since she's probably the last person who saw her mother alive.
You're probably
What
right.
have you found out so far?
Oh, Chief, look.
Mrs. Wentworth, look, we'd like to talk to you a little bit later. Don't go away, okay?
I'll be in my house anytime you want me, okay? Trying to keep my husband's dinner from burning. He's probably out drinking with the boys.
Take care. Chief, how did Raven take the news?
It's taking you pretty badly.
Huh?
All right. What happened out here? How'd this car get this way?
Well, look, Chief, as far as we can tell, I mean, Mrs. Scott just lost control of the car and cracked it up.
It was the only moving vehicle in the vicinity. Nobody ran her off the road.
David insists her mother was a good driver.
Well, even so, she must have had a pretty bad night. I mean, the street is obviously bone dry, and there are no traces of any skid marks.
Car didn't go into a skid?
No, obviously also, there's no obstacles for her to have tried to avoid hitting.
What are you trying to say? She did this on purpose?
Well, look, we don't have any facts to back up anything.
Well, get some facts. I want to know why this woman died.
Ease off, Chief. We're doing the best we can. I mean, all we can do right now is speculate, you know?
She could have fallen asleep and her hand could have slipped off the wheel.
We can't discount the possibility of mechanical failure either.
Yeah, well, as soon as I get this heap dragged into the police garage, I'll have it gone over from top to bottom.
From what I've heard, my guess is she probably had a stroke or a heart attack.
There's something else we're going to have to do, too.
What's that?
We're going to have to order an autopsy.
Hi, Mrs. Cross.
Mrs. Swift, hi.
Master Jamie.
Oh, not a peep out of him. No trouble at all since you left.
Good. I'm glad he wasn't any trouble.
Mrs. Swift, I was listening to the radio and I heard the news about your mother. I'm awfully sorry.
Thank you. It's a terrible thing.
If there's anything I can do.
I'll take care of Jamie now, so you can go.
Oh, okay.
This be enough?
Oh, sure, thanks.
Well, I'll call Ansel.
I think I'll go take a look at Jamie.
Okay. Yes, operator, I'd like to make an overseas call, London, England. This will be person to Mr. Ansel Scott. That's A-N-S-E-L. Thank you.
Go to sleep now. My little $1 million